conducted many different experiments with our lighting, using a range of different ideas such as the light ring for the camera, different strength torches, natural lighting, floodlights and general artificial lighting.
In the basement, we first tried a number of test shots with a standard bulb in the ceiling and natural light coming through small windows at the top of the room. We did not find this lighting to be threatening or suitable for a thriller film. To lessen the amount of light, we covered the little windows and continued our test shots before eventually deciding the standard bulb was not suitable for the basement.
Next we turned out the bulb. This was unsuitable as the actors could not be seen by the camera and the fear factor was ruined by the fact that the audience were unaware as to what was happening in the scene.
After rethinking the ways in which we could add and control extra light, we attempted to conduct these three-point lighting techniques using torches. We had a backlight behind the character, a key and fill in both the corners. We still found this to be too bright and was only suitable when the characters remained stationary.
Next we removed one of the torches and added a light ring to the camera. Each time the shot changed or the actors moved, we repositioned the light so that they were visible at all times. We found this to be much more practical.
We focused the light on more important areas of the set to inform the audience which part of the set they should be focusing on. As well as this, we found lighting useful in portraying the personalities of the different characters. The protagonist was often fully lit to appear more angelic, whereas the antagonist had little light focused on them to give connotations of evil and to notify the audience of their sinister character. This is also a typical convention of a thriller film.
There were many different complications with our lighting, as our original idea was to film outside in the forest, but this was unsuccessful due to the fact there was only a small amount of time we had before it became too dark to film or too light to add suspense. As well as this, once inside the forest, the trees lit in very little light, making the scene much darker without intention. We attempted to resolve this using the same light ring we used from the basement and powerful torches. Due to the setting being outside in an open area, the light became projected outwards and did not assist the overall problem of not being able to see the actors.
After the unsuccessful encounter in the forest, we moved our second location to an abandoned looking barn. There were few windows letting in little natural light. This was useful as it allowed us to dictate where we wanted the light to come from. The torches and light ring were ineffective in providing a sufficient amount of light. Upon this discovery, we incorporated floodlights and placed them in the corners of the room. We believed that more light was needed to light up the barn than the basement, as it is a larger area and needs more artificial light to keep the scene and actors visible.
For the outside shots, such as when she's in the yard and when running through the garden, it came to our attention that we had to ensure it was the perfect time of day. This meant doing a vast amount of research, for example, looking at the sunset times for each night online, and going outside each night to monitor the change in lighting and the speed at which it gets darker. We found that 4:30 was the perfect time to film these shots, and we had roughly a 30-minute window each night to get these completed. This was also convenient as we didn't need any artificial lighting and could focus purely on the quality of the shot.